Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey.
Here.
Ford.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Crop.
Here.
Menster.
Here.
Bunton.
Here.
Oh.
Are you questioning?
No, I was reading.
Bunton, are you here?
Sorry about that.
Okay, announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports, including quarterly department head reports. So is that what you want to go with first?
With the presentation first, or do you
I think we'll do that first, if you don't mind. We'll do the presentation first. We have a presentation of a proclamation to the family of Mr. Richard Morissette Sr. And Commissioner Hill, Mayor Pro Tem, is going to present it to the family, because I'll start coughing and I won't be able to stop, and then I'll start crying and I won't be able to stop that. And we'll be a mess, so.
Is Mrs. Morissette here?
I think Arlene's right there.
Yeah, you can come right up here. I'll read this and then I'll give it to you. Whereas the people of Mount Clemens, through their duly elected officials, have a long history of recognizing those individuals in their midst who give of themselves for the human and public good, and whereas Richard M. Morissette Sr. was born in Mount Clemens on August 9, 1943, to Edward and Glennis Morissette, whereas Richard worked as the assistant superintendent at the Macomb County Road Commission from 1966 until his retirement in 1997. Whereas Mr. Morrison was very active in his community up until his passing, March 12, 2017. He was the co-founder of the Mount Clemens Barracudas Youth Football League and coached Mount Clemens Recreational Baseball. He was a 50-year member of the Mount Clemens Goodfellows, a 30-year member of the Old Crowd. He was a 30-year active volunteer for the Mount Clemens Traffic Safety Committee. Richard also found time to be an active member of St. Peter Catholic Church in Mount Clemens, serving on the Worship Committee, Finance Committee, and as a Eucharist minister in the St. Vincent de Paul Food Pantry. Whereas Mr. Morissette enjoyed logging freighters in Port Huron with his wife Arlene, woodworking, camping, riding his bike, and attending his grandkids' events, his motto was always God, family, and work, and in that order. He was Papa to everyone young and old. Whereas Richard will be remembered by the City of Mount Clemens and all the various boards and committees he served, now therefore be it resolved that I, Barb Dempsey, Mayor of the City of Mount Clemens, on behalf of the City Commission and all our citizens, present this proclamation posthumously to Richard M. Morissette's family, his wife Arlene, his 4 children, and his 8 grandchildren, and extend our heartfelt sorrow for the loss of Richard M. Morissette Sr. as a husband, father, grandfather, and long-standing member of the community. This is dated April 17th, 2017, and signed by Barb Dempsey, Mayor of Mount Clemens.
Thank you.
And we have, how many Morris's families here? Stand. We've got everyone here. His brother. Did
If
you?
I may,
Yes, you may.
28 years in the Mount Clemens Police Department, retired as a lieutenant, 1978. And on behalf of my brother, he served 55 years on the Traffic Safety Committee. And also, you would never know how much he gave of his time in the paving program and saved the city a lot of money. Ed Whedon, if he was here today, would tell you that. Never said a word about it. Very, very humble. Thank you very much for this recognition.
We thank him and your family for sharing him with all of the city for the many years that he put in. I knew him for a long time, and he's truly going to be missed. See, this is what would happen. That's why I couldn't do it. Okay. If you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but if you'd like to leave, please feel free to. Just wait a few minutes. Air's not on yet. It'll cool down now. More people are coming. Okay, Brian. That's
It's hot in here. Am I getting red?
Yeah, I feel bad.
It was nice.
So sweet.
Okay, now we'll have the presentations from the department heads, and I don't know, how you want to start?
I was going to start with the fire department.
Oh,
If
okay.
Captain Happy wants to come in.
Captain Hoppy, you're up next. That's all right.
I wanted to make sure they knew where the elevator was. Good evening. Again, I'm Captain Hoppy with the fire department. I'm going to do the quarterly report. I see you have a lot of people here, so you have a lot going on tonight. We have 852 runs to date. We've been very busy with inspections. We've been working with the city attorney. We're following up on some court action that we've been ongoing with the hotel here in town. Again, I say it every time I come here, and I'm glad to be able to say it. There's a lot of new business here in town. There's a lot going on downtown. We've been working with community development, getting into a lot of these buildings to people who are looking to move in. And it's an exciting time. I'm glad to see things have turned around a little bit, and it's nice. I was downtown today looking at a couple buildings, and it's hard finding a spot sometimes. It's been a long time since it's been like that. And do any of you have any questions of me?
Anybody here? No? I don't think so.
We've been very busy with training and everything, so if anybody has any questions, just contact anybody and we'll get you the information.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next quarterly report we will have from the Community Development Department. Brian Tingley is the director there.
All right, in the first quarter of 2017, there were 272 building and other trade permits issued, 665 new code enforcement cases were opened, 222 rental inspection and vacant property verifications were conducted, 105 rental units received their certificate of compliance, and 19 new certificates of occupancy were issued for both residential and commercial. Department staff has been working on its National Incident Management Systems training. I completed the International Economic Development Council's Marketing and Attraction course last month. Along with our partners at the Watershed Council in Macomb County, the city was successful in its crowdfunding campaign through the MEDC, which ended in January. We did meet our fundraising goal of $60,000, and we'll be receiving a match of $50,000 from the MEDC for a kayak launch and other improvements at MacArthur Park. The project is currently going through engineering design and DEQ permitting. City staff completed the writing of a new 5-year Parks and Recreation plan after conducting a public open house in January. The plan was adopted by the City Commission in February, and that has been submitted to the DNR. And again, that makes us eligible for certain grants through that department. The city is currently 55% certified through the MEDC's Redevelopment Ready Communities program, with the last two major components being the adoption of a 5-year capital improvement plan and then some zoning ordinance updates. And then lastly, we assisted the purchasing department in developing a bid packet for the demolition of 127 Court, 88 Gibbs, and 12 Murdoch, and the contract is being awarded tonight for that. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Next, we'll have Linda Kunith, the Finance Director, give a report on the Finance Department.
For this last quarter, we spent a lot of time preparing the 2017-18 proposed budget with assistance with all of the department heads and vendors, including our PM group for employee health and fringe benefits, which are projected to stay the same this coming fiscal year. The proposed budget was reviewed by City Commission at 3 work sessions in late March and is to be presented at public hearing hopefully at the next meeting. There were 6,941 property assessment notices that were calculated, printed, and on a new assessment form. The form was updated so it was easier to read, and if there were any questions, hopefully people saw it in a little bigger font and had the information that they needed on those assessment notices. We used an outside printer to mail the notices, and there was no cost increase to do so, and it saved staff time to work on the Board of Review. There were 100 properties that were discussed at those sessions in March. Property taxes were collected through February 28th, and any delinquent summer and winter property taxes were sent to the county's Macomb County Treasurer's Office for collection. The Finance Department balanced the tax collections, completed the annual warrant, and is reviewing the forms with the county this coming week. The city averaged 2,200 utility bills a month. 165 properties were delinquent on water bill payments or broken arrangements and were shut off. It generated $3,425 in fee revenue to reestablish service. 408 parking stickers were sold this past quarter, totaling $29,975. The city continues to work with Macomb County IT to enhance dispatch communications with the city's fire department, including the new purchase of software and hardware. And the purchasing staff posted 15 bids on Mitten Cable and the city website, processed 5 insurance claims, 252 purchase orders, 20 agenda items for commission approval. 34 service orders were also placed for all the building repair, maintenance, plumbing, electrical, roofs, and such issues. Any questions?
Thank you.
Next, we'll have a report from Sarah Price, the Human Resources Director.
Okay, the beginning of the year has been full of activities for the Human Resources Department. The city ended the first quarter with 71 total employees. That's 60 full-time and 10 part-time individuals. Or, I'm sorry, there's 11 part-time individuals. In addition to the biweekly regular payrolls and the monthly retiree payrolls, I prepared and distributed over 300 W-2 and 1099-R reports to our employees and retirees. This past quarter, we hired a utilities director, and we also made an offer of employment to an HR assistant who should start next week. An employee was promoted to the vacant parking code enforcement officer position, and then in addition, we posted for a water and sewer maintenance worker, and we're in the process of filling that position. We are currently seeking applications for our seasonal laborer positions in the Public Services Department and the Utilities Department. We're looking for 11 individuals. Interested individuals can obtain the job posting and an employment application by visiting our website, www.cityofmountclemens.com, and clicking on the link for job opportunities. The quarterly newsletter was prepared and distributed to all Mount Clemens residents via the Journal, and the current and past editions can also be found on our website. In addition, just miscellaneous HR support was provided to other departments, and then I responded to general HR and benefit-related inquiries from our employees and retirees. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Jeff Wood, our Assistant City Manager, Director of Public Services.
During the last quarter, the Public Services Department has cleaned and put away all of the winter snow removal and salting equipment. I hope we don't need that stuff for a few more months anyway. Met with the Beautification Committee and will be assisting in the planting of a columnar oak tree at Seminole School in observance of Arbor Day. Cleaned up and removed damaged trees and debris from a windstorm. Installed a memorial bench at Wilson Park in memory of Commissioner Gary Blash. We've begun the street sweeping program, and as we ramp that program up, we will be updating the areas that we'll be working in on the city's Facebook page. So Commissioner Campbell, you'll be able to find us on the, you'll know when we're on your street.
You won't.
We began the mowing program in which the DPS mows all of the city-owned properties and parks. We met with the asphalt contractor for the asphalt patching program, which will begin in the next couple of weeks. Met with the city's engineer and identified multiple locations of concrete repairs to bid for the concrete patching program. Worked with MDOT in the recent emergency removal of the pedestrian bridge over Groesbeck and North Rose Street. Performed monthly methane monitoring and a DEQ mandated dewatering event of the methane ventilation system. And in compliance with the Federal Emergency Management Administration, all DPS staff has been trained and certified in the National Incident Management System. We've issued over 1,300 parking citations, generating just under $120,000 in meter revenue, and responded to about 50 animal control complaints.
Will we be planning a dedication on that bench next week, possibly?
We can, yes.
Okay. So
It
we'll get-
actually was installed today, so
That's
it
what I
really
thought,
wasn't.
because I knew it wasn't installed when we talked, so.
Yes, it actually this morning. so.
Okay, and so we'll get a hold of
Yeah.
Mrs. Blash, and we'll have something next
Yes.
week. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
The demolition of the bridge on Rose, is that the pedestrian bridge?
The pedestrian bridge, yeah. It went over Groesbeck.
Why are you tearing it down?
They got hit by a car, and MDOT did a inspection after it was hit, and it was damaged to a point that they were worried that it was going to collapse, so it got removed.
The utility companies that come through and do patchwork, do we have any jurisdiction over them with the work that they do? Because sometimes they put a little patch in, and then before you know it, that patch sinks into the ground, and then you run over it and bump, and then they come and put another little patch on, and it just reoccurs, is what I'm saying. Is there some jurisdiction we have? Can we go back and ask them to redo it or whatever? In fact,
Yeah.
there's one strip where I toured the city and found that the sidewalk has been torn up since last fall, and it's gravel instead of pavement at this point in time. So I don't know, where do we stand? How do we handle that?
Well, they are actually supposed to notify the city when they're doing work like that in the city. It doesn't always happen. And so, yes, we do have some to go back and get them to repair those things appropriately. But a lot of times, well, not a lot, but sometimes we don't even know that they were in town and did this work, so.
So the best thing to do is for citizens that have this situation is just call your office.
Is to contact the city and let us know that, you know, and especially if we can figure out which utility it was, if it was AT&T or Consumers or DTE or whomever.
But we do know that there was a large project done on Robertson Street between, was it South Wilson and Smith, I think it went all the way
Yes,
down?
yep,
And so
yep.
we do know that they have intentions of coming back.
Correct, yes. Yeah,
in the
sometimes
spring. I
they
think
do
that's where-
notify us.
On
but,
South
so,
Wilson. And
One of them.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's a mess, but, I mean, it wasn't something that, I mean, you knew about,
Right.
we knew about that one and have been monitoring it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Our next report will be on the Utilities Department by Utilities Director Jeanette Best.
Not only did they put the microphone too high, they saved the best for last. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. This is for the quarter from January through March, and unfortunately, I wasn't here all of that time. I was here from February through today, which is 2.5 months. But during that time, we produced 179,565,000 gallons of exceptional quality drinking water. A lot. And we treated 418,203 gallons of wastewater without violating any of our discharge permit parameters. So we created exceptional quality wastewater treatment. We've responded to 270 customer requests through the Water and Sewer Department, and we've performed 173 shut-offs for customers for non-payments. We've submitted the Sarah Title III Tier 2 report, which is due annually to the EPA, and this documents hazardous materials that are kept on site at both facilities in bulk quantities. We've upgraded our internet service in anticipation of our supervisory control and data acquisition update, and that we call that the SCADA system. The SCADA system update contract has been awarded. In fact, we've got someone coming out to do the first review of the facilities tomorrow. Specific to the wastewater treatment plant, we've negotiated with the MDEQ for a new discharge permit, which allows us to discharge treated water to the Clinton River. It was kind of a long and drawn-out process. We managed to get some concessions from the state, surprisingly. And the effective date of that permit, the new permit, is May 1st. We completed and submitted the annual mercury and federal industrial pretreatment reports to the state. We've billed the significant industrial users $5,611 in surcharges for their extra strength wastes. We've completed the quarterly biosolids testing and mercury monitoring. We repaired number 9 rotor for our oxidation ditch, which has been out of service for quite some time. So we were really proud of the fact that our guys repaired it in-house and put it back in service. We've also ordered some additional parts so we can continue the repairs. We've repaired the retention treatment basin dewatering pump, and it's ready for installation now. And we've awarded a bid for the repair of the biosolids dewatering centrifuge, and that will be flying out of the building. It's called a Bird, is the name brand. So we'll be flying out of our building tomorrow. I'll keep you posted.
I like the water humor.
Specific to the water treatment plant, we've completed our consumer confidence report and distributed to the wholesale customers. It goes to the public on July 1st. We've completed and submitted to the MDEQ the required quarterly testing, and we've repaired and replaced damaged safety railings, walkway gratings, and other safety issues throughout the plant. So we're working hard at getting things back in shape. Any questions?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And our last report on the clerk's office will be given by Kathleen Martin, Deputy City Clerk.
All right. Well, the city clerk's office has prepared candidate packets for the November 7th, 2017 city election. The deadline for filing nominating petitions is Tuesday, July 25th at 4:00 p.m. We are preparing to mail business registration renewal notices to all businesses throughout the city. Notices will be mailed the second week of May to over 600 businesses in the city. All business registrations expire June 30th and must be renewed no later than July 1st. We continue to collect addresses to add to the city's no-knock list. Any resident who does not want door-to-door solicitors coming to their home can be added to this list by calling or emailing our office. Residents can sign up for up-to-the-minute email notifications from the city whenever the latest meeting agendas, minutes, packets, and city events are posted. Simply log on to cityofmountclemens.com and click on the Document Center tab. And once you're in the Document Center, click on the Email Notifications tab at the top of the page and create an account. You will then be emailed a notification every time a new update is posted to the website. Anyone who would like to volunteer to serve on a board, committee, or commission can contact the city clerk's office for an application. Currently, there are vacancies on the following boards: Board of Zoning Appeals, Board of Zoning Appeals Alternate, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, Construction Code Board of Appeals, Harbor Commission, Historical Commission, Historic District Commission, Planning Commission, and the Traffic Safety Committee. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is that all the reports? Nothing from the city manager's report? Okay. I need a motion to adopt the agenda.
I want to pull something.
Okay.
I would like to pull 10C and make that 9E.
10C. And that'll be 9E. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, you need a motion?
Move to Approve the amended agenda.
Second.
Roll call?
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey.
Yes.
Ford.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Bunton.
Yes.
Okay, public participation. This is the time you may address this body. All we ask is that you give us your name, residential address, and you adhere to our 3-minute rule. This is the time you can speak on anything, whether it's on the agenda or not. If you want to just come up and say hi, you can do that too.
My name is Dave Schneider. I own the Magic Shop, 69 North Walnut. Tonight, the board will be asked to move forward the shed for basically the farmer's market. While I'm excited to see the city do anything, and I don't mean that rudely, we've had 9 years of struggling. It's time for us to move forward. I'm excited about the farmers being downtown, but I'm more excited about the other uses that shed could be used for. We need people. Businesses come where people walk through. Our businesses are hanging on by the skin of their teeth, and I don't say that meanly, it's just the truth. We've been in town for 9 years, and we have put our money and our time in a lot of things down here. Anyone who's involved in downtown knows that we have done that, and we're still struggling by the skin of our teeth. We need more people. We need a city more vibrant. A going downtown is better for the community. A place where they can buy fruits and vegetables directly from the farmers is a new thing. But I was down at Eastern Market this weekend doing a church had booked an entire strip of one of their same type of barn for a Easter celebration, and I was talking to the manager of that one, and he said, we have this thing booked almost 320 days a year. Now, I don't expect that right away because we're not the Eastern Market, but I think we are severely underestimating how many people that thing will bring downtown. We can put Christmas markets in there. We can use it to rent out for private events. Right now, a lot of city activities are renting giant tents at $4,000 and $5,000 for a weekend. All that can go. The DDA has stepped forward and said they would pay most of this out of their, as we get our money back. And I think the city would be making a terrible mistake not to show something concrete that would add to the activities downtown, however you want to say it, and make a statement that we're on our way back. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Oh, just come right up to the mic.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Pearl Romberg, and I am the president of the Mount Clemens Farmers Market, and have been a farmer on the market for 32 years. I would like to say that having a permanent site with cover and doors would be a great advantage to the customers that come to our market and for the farmers that are on the market. And I think it would be a benefit to the city to support the market by offering us space in this building. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Deborah Baird. I've been in Mount Clemens for almost 40 years, and I think the farmers market moving to the new location would be an excellent idea. It'd be more city friendly. You can tell your friends, they can find it. I think more people would actually come and then possibly eat, check out, walk around, our area, and I just think it would be very, very positive.
Thank you. No fight.
Hello, my name is Vinny Fontana. I am with the media. I work for the Metro Times. I've been throwing I've thrown events in multiple farmers markets in Southeast Michigan. I think it's a great idea for the city, and it's definitely something that we would look at to try to have events in Mount Clemens. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dan Michaels. I am a newcomer to your town. And this is one of the few places I've ever lived that did not have a farmer's market in its core. You have a beautiful waterfront. I came from Portland, Oregon. They spent millions of dollars making their waterfront beautiful, and people use that waterfront for everything. And if you had something like a farmer's market down here with a permanent shed you could close up, the weather wouldn't matter to people so much when it's time to go down and buy some vegetables. If you take that farmer's market off of North River Road, a person could walk down there or ride a bike down there, which I've tried to do, without getting killed. You know? So it's a huge benefit, and like the first speaker said, I mean, there is no limit to the benefits that you would get from having this infrastructure in your town. You build up something that I would go to, I could walk to it. You know, so, and many people that I know would also go. So people down the street from me on Woolworth go to the farmer's market every single weekend. And if it's raining or nasty, then you have to drive. And the more you get people out of their cars and walking around, the better off they can see, you know, what your city has to offer, what this city has to offer, and now my city has to offer. So that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, Don Morandini. I'm on the Board of Trustees for the Anton Arts Center. I'd just like to read our comments into the record. On behalf of the Anton Arts Center, I'm proud to submit this letter in support of the downtown Mount Clemens Farmers Market Shed Project. As you are aware, the Mount Clemens Farmers Market is a longstanding and popular market in the region, receiving recognition from area news publications as the best farmers market in Macomb County. Downtown Mount Clemens will benefit from the growth in traffic that relocation of the market to the downtown business district is likely to bring. Due to the Anton Arts Center's proximity to the proposed farmers market location, I anticipate that the center will experience increased visitorship on market days, as we already see during the summer Wednesday markets in the Rothkopf municipal parking lot, which will encourage return visitorship throughout the year. Aside from added visitors, the Anton Arts Center may also utilize the new farmers market facility as a venue for visual or performing arts programs and activities, or fundraising events. Such a facility would be a distinct asset for the city of Mount Clemens and support the continued development of a vibrant downtown district. Possibilities afforded by a flexible venue for the farmers market and community will support greater economic or greater development in the downtown area, bolster civic pride among residents and business owners, and bring the area's best farm fresh produce and goods into the heart of the city. We just wanted to share with you also that the Anton Arts Center is in the process of strategizing to be more of a regional arts center to look throughout Southeast Michigan. And if you have the Emerald Theater, who is also strategizing to do the same thing, and then with the farmers market in downtown Mount Clemens, that's three tremendous opportunities to bring people not just from Mount Clemens and Clinton Township and Macomb County, but through the entire Southeast Michigan region. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hope Cole at 12 Lincoln, and I just wanted to add to the discussion that I feel the experience of being at a farmer's market has become a very big part of going to a farmer's market. It used to be more of a practical thing, but I could see that if we were to have our farmer's market right downtown here, we would not only increase the amount of business that we could maybe bring in, the way we could rent the place out, etc., but we would increase the experience, how pleasant it would be to be amongst all the buildings downtown. It really would be more of a draw, in my opinion, to the younger community who wants to go down to Eastern Market or over to Royal Oak, where they know that they can spend the whole afternoon and not just buy vegetables. So I look forward to hopefully having that experience right downtown. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruthie Stevenson, 69 Bain. As everybody was talking, I remember when the farmer market was downtown. It was called Farm City Week. You know, always every Friday and Saturday, it would be a place to go, a place to, restaurants and food and just meeting with different people and the different farmers from all over Macomb and St. Clair County that would come. And to tell you the honest truth, it would be a good thing to have it back downtown again. And it would draw a whole cadre of people that normally don't go. I hate to say I don't always go out on North River Road all the time because, tell you the honest truth, I forget. But still, to have that back downtown as a venue as part of Farm City Week would be a great thing to do.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jack Johns, 35 Riverside Drive. Just want to say congratulations with the kayak launch. That's one of the first successful crowdfunding programs they had for the entire Macomb County. So that's the first one that I know of that was successful in the area. And also, I hope you do approve the bond application tonight. I'm the Detroit Food and Egg Network. I'm on that particular membership network down in Detroit. And they have the Shed 5, which does a lot of projects down there. They have small food incubator space. They have the market. They do Macon and Michigan show, which brings thousands of people. They put bands in there. So there's a lot of events that go on. And what's nice about it, it's all in the building where if it's raining or regardless, they can go in and utilize that space. And economic development as a whole in Mount Clemens, especially right now, is really on a roll. So you can see what's happened at Emerald Theater and possibly a Mexican restaurant next door. And Gumbo's is doing the bakery in the back of the store right now, and the health department's looking at that to open that up. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm just hoping that the ball keeps rolling and we'll have a wonderful space to bring more people right downtown. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Rick Block. I live on Cambridge, 207 Cambridge. Every issue has two sides. Guess I'm going to be the voice of the other side at this moment in time. At the budget meeting a couple of weeks ago, I asked a question. What was this going to cost the city if we went ahead with a project like this? I was erroneously told zero, nothing costs zero. I saw in writing a figure of 17.5 plus or give a little. I also heard it could be as much as $70,000. So I guess my question again is, my first question is, what is the cost to the city? Secondly, I'm pretty sure that this year's proposed budget doesn't include whatever that cost is going to be. So if it's not included, what's going to come out of the budget, or what are we not going to do that we should do that we haven't done for the last how many ever years it is? Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh.
Diane Cubic, 93 Riverside, also Max and Alley's and Macomb Place. You know how I feel about the farmers market shed. I think part of what we need to consider is growth for the future. I told you last time that you did a great job of protecting us through the hardest of times. We need to believe we're going to have a future. We need to draw people into town, the millenniums, the young people like Hope. That's what they're going to want to see. That's what will help draw them. That's what will help make our community great. And I think we will recoup, if there's money to be spent, I think we will recoup that in increased property values and increased activity in the downtown. Dave said it's been a struggle, and it has, and I really think that the shed will help us. I think it'll help the whole community. Competition's stiff. We've got to do something. Staying where we are is not really working. I'm in favor, and I really hope that you'll consider taking this next step and taking us into the future that we all believe we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Catherine Gatney. I live at 57.5 Macomb Place. My children are in their 30s, and 3.5 years ago when I told my daughter I'm moving to Mount Clemens, she said, "Hey, this is your heaven," because we'd always come out here, have a good time with the fireworks and stuff like that. Only it's not as interesting as it used to be. But I don't expect everything to stay the same. but I think we can do better, and I think the shed would really help us. And like Diane said, if you're not doing anything, how are you going to attract more people? And it's kind of the insane thinking of you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. So don't expect anything different. So I'm hoping that we can make the city better and believe. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. No.
Excuse me. Hi, my name is Cherie Davy, and I live at 84 Riverside Drive. I've moved here a few years ago, but I've lived in Harrison Township, so basically Mount Clemens has been my home for many years. I'm very proud of Mount Clemens. I've watched it start to come and start to go. It needs to move forward. My friends, my children's friends, we all go to Easter Market to eat, drink, and be merry and shop. And I think that it would be wonderful if Mount Clemens did something like this and grew. And everything everyone said is so true. That's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Dempsey, Commissioners, my name is Stephen Saff Jr., 68 Clinton Street. I'm also here as the current chairman of the DDA. I've made myself available to all of you in the study sessions to answer questions, to hopefully provide information. Going forward, this is another step. There will be more interaction with this body as we continue to pursue this. We are not finished. I am certainly available. If residents have questions, I'm available. I'm not a difficult person to find, I don't think. I won't retread everything that I've shared with you and the amount of time and effort that the DDA board has put into this project to date, but I am extremely heartened by the response that you've heard before me here. I made an effort to talk to a couple commissioners, but those that are attending here besides DDA board members have come on their own initiative. Particularly like to thank Pearl for coming down. The farmers have been involved in this project from day one. They've been instrumental in sharing with us what their needs and concerns are. But again, we're not done, and we're committed to see this through, and we're looking for your continued support. Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to have to, Paul, you get to come up because they can't hear you on the TV.
Paul Romberg, a 30-year grower on the market in Mount Clemens here. There is a piece of advice that was given out in farm country. It is not where you're at, it's where you're going.
Thank you. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? All right. I need a motion. We have no administrative responses, so I need a motion to approve the minutes from previous meetings.
Motion to approve the minutes of April 3rd.
Support.
Roll call.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Crop?
Yes.
Menser?
Yes.
Bunton?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, general business 9A, introduction and first reading of amendments to section 7.1A and section 8.2D and section 10.3B of the zoning ordinance. Need a motion?
Move to approve the introduction and first reading of amendments to section 7.1A, section 8.2D, and section 10.3B of the zoning ordinance, and set May 1st, 2017 as the date for the second reading and adoption.
Support.
The Planning Commission has recommended amendments to the zoning ordinance that include section 7.1A regarding the permitted floor area and number of accessory buildings in the residential districts. The amendment of section 8.2D regarding the permitted height of hospital buildings in the multi-use district, and the amendment of Section 10.3B regarding the number of off-street parking spaces required for hospital uses. A public hearing was held by the Planning Commission on April 4th, 2017. At that meeting, the Planning Commission passed a motion recommending that the City Commission approve the proposed amendments.
Are there any questions or comments? Commissioner Martin?
One quick question. I know that they took out the part of reserving parking space in the emergency area. Is the emergency area going to have enough parking space to handle emergency patients that come in, and especially if there's some kind of situation that generates several different people coming in at one time?
Yeah, we're confident that it can continue to handle the parking needs there.
Okay,
And there are representatives from the hospital here in the audience. If anybody has any specific questions about their how they operate, I'm sure they would be happy to discuss the specifics.
Are we good with that?
Yes, we are. If I may, I have to stand a while.
Why don't you come to the mic?
I'll do that. Excuse me. I'm Kurt Vanderweil with McLaren Macomb Hospital, Director of Facilities Management. So to answer your question, sir, presently we have enough parking spaces. Where we lack is the interior building space within our emergency department. For example, we have approximately 12 to 1,600 patients that come into our ER annually that aren't seen. And they get tired of waiting, understandably, and they leave to go elsewhere. And it's that fact that is driving this initiative for the expanded emergency department in the new Northwest Addition that we're hoping to break ground on. So in as much as we have presently enough parking spaces to accommodate all of our patrons and our patients that come through the emergency department, including those 11 to 1,600 that leave, the real situation is the interior building space, not the parking.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Denise, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's my understanding that some of that was redundant parking, counted twice for the emergency room?
I don't believe so. Let me introduce Christopher DeGood from AECom, architects and engineering firm that we've contracted with.
Thanks, Kurt. So it is somewhat redundant. You'll, in the letter that we wrote, the modifications we're asking for are consistent with several other communities with large hospitals in the vicinity of Mount Clemens. And one of the ways that it's redundant is that we're asking you to eliminate the portion of the ordinance that requires one parking space for every 100 square feet of emergency department floor area. That's not consistent with a number of other communities. And it's also redundant in that not only do you require one space for that footprint, but you also require a space for every employee that occupies that footprint.
Understood. Brian, I just wanted to comment on the other part of the ordinance. I am really happy that we are recognizing that not all residential lots are the same size. I think that's a good step forward.
Are there any other questions for these gentlemen? Okay. Seeing none, we'll take a vote. Oh, do you have one?
I have a
Okay.
question for Brian. In the section 7.1 about accessory buildings, there's a sentence that I think I know what it means, but it's kind of confusing. So it says the sum total floor area of all accessory buildings, whether attached or detached, shall not exceed 20% of the lot area, provided that in no instance shall the total ground floor area of all accessory buildings never be below 920 square feet.
Right. So in layman's terms, if there was an instance on a lot where 20% of the lot area was less than 920 square feet, the city would still allow 920 square feet of floor area.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
And the 920 is consistent with what is currently allowed Right now, each residential lot is allowed 800 square feet plus a 120 square foot shed. So,
Anyone
Thank you.
else? Okay, roll call.
Ford,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes. Okay. 9B, introduction and first reading of an ordinance to establish the City of Mount Clemens Retiree Health Care Trust. Need a motion?
Move to approve the introduction and first reading of an ordinance to establish the City of Mount Clemens Retiree Health Care Trust and to set May 1st, 2017 as the date for the second reading and adoption.
Second.
The ordinance to establish the City of Mount Clemens Retiree Healthcare Trust was proposed for review at the April 17th, 2017 work session that took place prior to this meeting. The city's current other post-employment benefits, OPEB, liability of $5.7 million is stated in the June 30th, 2016 financial report in accordance with GASB 45. This is the cost of providing retiree health care coverage and other post-employment benefits other than pension over the working life of the employee rather than at the time health care premiums are paid. Compliance with GASB 75 will require the city to recognize the full liability estimated at $53 million starting with the year ending June 30th, 2018. To fund this retiree obligation, the city is first required to establish a trust like the trust established by the city to fund retiree pension obligations. The proposed ordinance establishes the trust, operational guidelines, and a board of trustees, which mirrors the existing Employees Retirement System Board and has similar asset management responsibilities. Once this ordinance is approved, the $50,000 assignment from the general fund balance approved by the City Commission at the June 20th, 2016 meeting will be used to fund the newly established trust, and $100,000 is proposed in the 2017-2018 fiscal year budget to continue funding this obligation.
Are there any questions? Oh, I'm sorry. The attorney has a few.
There is a slight error in the first paragraph of the proposed ordinance. The language amending the City of Mount Clemens Code of Ordinances will be deleted. So it will read an ordinance to establish the City of Mount Clemens Retiree Health Care Trust in accordance with applicable state and federal law.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Hill,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Bunton,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Dempsey,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Okay, 9C, approval of commencement of capital improvement bond financing application and request for proposal for proposed farmers market shed. Need a motion.
I move to direct Miller Canfield City Bond Council to begin the application process to USDA for the bonds that would finance the construction of the proposed Mount Clemens Farmers Market shed and approve the city's purchasing agent to place a request for proposal for interested qualified contractors to formulate and present bids for the cost of construction of the proposed shed.
Support?
At the City Commission meeting of February 6, 2017, the City Commission approved directing the city clerk to publish a resolution of intent to issue bonds in a newspaper of general circulation in the city, which began a 45-day community comment period. The notice was published in the February 15th edition of the Journal newspaper. This was the first of 3 steps that require City Commission approval. The second step is to approve commencement of the bond financing application process, as well as to approve formally seeking public bids from qualified contractors for costs for the construction of the proposed shed. This step is non-binding. The expenses related to the step will be fully incurred by the Downtown Development Authority. Once this second step is complete, the third step will be to bring the final details and figures for the proposed shed to the City Commission for consideration and approval.
Okay, questions, comments? Commissioner Menzer?
I have struggled with this issue for a good deal, and I've talked with several of the business owners downtown. I believe firmly and clearly that the farmers market belongs downtown. What I'm having trouble with is the debt. The city has a lot of debt. We just heard $53 million in retiree. We have 18 bonds outstanding for a total of $11 million that takes us all the way to 2031. So being kind of a fiscal conservative, this really bothers me. The other part of this that really bothers me is the statement that this bond will be issued without a vote of the electors of the city. I have a problem with that. I believe residents should have a voice other than just here. So I need to see, I think, some tentative agreements that there are some other entities that want to rent these. I have talked to the Art Center, you know, and Phil Gilchrist believes that he can hold events in the shed. But we're talking about roughly $2.5 million in a bond that's going to go until 2048.
It's 1.2 million.
By the time you add the compounded interest on there, I figured it's about 2.5. No, whether it's 1.5 or 2.5 with compounded interest, I'm having a problem with the debt.
Commissioner Button?
I guess I'll start with the fact that nothing ventured, nothing gained. Then I'll also add to that, we missed out on a baseball stadium in downtown Mount Clemens. There's another community that jumped on it, and they are raking in money hand over fist. I think that we need a shot in the arm in downtown Mount Clemens. I think that the people who are trying to put this together are conscientious, and they're conscious of the fact that, you know, we do have a financial situation here in the city, but again, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You can't go forward by keeping your feet in the same position. So I think that this is not binding at this point anyway. So this is all about finding out how it can be done, how it should be done, and putting a presentation forward, at which point in time we still would have the opportunity of saying no, okay? But as it looks right now, it looks like a jewel for us, and it would be a shame to have this jewel go down the road just as the baseball stadium went down the road. So. Guess I'm through.
I'd just like to say that I agree with everything that Commissioner Bunton just said. And I also would like to say that I grew up in the city of Royal Oak, and the downtown in Royal Oak went through a very bad time. And one of the things that they did is establish a farmer's market. And I am a shirt tail relative of one of the people that really was behind that farmer's market, and lived long enough to see how successful it was. And I think that the farmer's market isn't the only thing that regenerated their downtown, but it was a big part of it. And just recently, I attended a wedding that was at the farmer's market in Royal Oak, and it was a very nice event. They have used that farmer's market for so many different things. I just have to say that I'm 100% behind this, and I hope that it happens.
Anyone else? Commissioner Campbell.
Like Commissioner Menzer, I too have went back and forth, and I think that by actually moving forward with this, we will be able to find out, is it going to be 1.5, is it going to be 2.1? Once this is all brought out, we'll find out what exactly the total cost is and what it will be, so.
Yeah. That answers the question of the person who came up and wanted to know how much this is going to cost. We won't know until we have an opportunity to go out for an RFP. We have estimate costs And that's exactly what we have is estimates. Someone has put it together and said, this is what they think it's going to cost, this is what we're going to do this, but we need to find out exactly what it's going to cost, what the debt's going to be, and go forward. So this is not binding tonight what you're doing. We're not asking you tonight to approve the actual shed. All we're asking you is to give the opportunity to go forward to find out what this would cost. So we can't give you we cannot give you a price yet, Mr. Black, because we won't know it until we go out and try to find it. So once we get that, we'll have the answer for you.
Question one.
Pardon?
Question one.
Question one, we'll take one step at a time.
I'll wait.
Could I just say one other thing? When I moved to Mount Clemens, one of the things that really appealed to me about Mount Clemens was the beautiful downtown. And I really think that we should do all that we can to support the downtown and keep it going.
I have been on the commission the least amount, and have probably been one of the most vocal about needing to have a plan for the city. Because without any type of vision of where we're going, we will go nowhere. We'll stay stagnant. I always use my husband and I's business as an example of that, is that every year we sit down in the beginning of the year, and as hokey as that may sound, we make a list of business goals and personal goals and family goals. And I don't see, as a city, us doing that, or us having a vision. And so I'm very hesitant to move forward on such a big project and say, let's throw a lot of money at something that that we as a commission have not done a lot of planning for in terms of big picture, because we know we have some very big, pricey, big picture items in the background. That being said, I think a farmer's market would be great. I would love to live in a city that has the capability of me riding my bikes with my 2 boys, probably leaving my husband at home doing a project, but going and doing those things. It's not as if I believe any one of us who are sitting up here who have to make a vote believe that we don't want those things. I mean, we want what's best for Mount Clemens. We all live here, and we want it to be a great place. We wouldn't waste our time being on this board if that wasn't the case. I can assure every single one of you that. But we have to also be fiscally responsible. And so my vote tonight will reflect that I need more information in order for this to go forward. It's not a vote of support for the end product. Does that make sense? Because without more information, I can't say yes or no. I love the idea of a shed, yes, absolutely, but can we afford it? So I need more information to say yes or no to that. So I don't want anyone to say, well, she supported it then, and she's not going to support it later. That's what I'm saying.
She may support it later, too.
Right, I may, yes, I may, but I don't want anyone to confuse. Tonight's vote is not about the end. It's about getting more information.
I have a question. If this is voted down tonight, is that the end of the project, or? Sure. So there won't be any other time if we vote it down tonight?
Pretty much. If we don't move this is the next step forward.
Okay, I have just one other comment. I just want to remind some of the commissioners that when they campaigned to be on the city commission, they were all about economic development. And I'd like to say, my friends, this is economic development. And when you do economic development, you have to put some money out before you get money back. So.
Commissioner Nemenser?
Let me say this again. I believe fully, firmly, and completely that the farmers market belongs downtown. But until I have some of the questions answered about the debt and how we're going to pay for it, I'm on the fence. Tonight, this vote, as we've already said multiple times,
is a vote for exploring what the cost will be. That's hard to turn down. But I need to have some reassurances of where this money is going to come from and what else it's going to affect. We have a large presentation about infrastructure needs. We heard tonight $53 million in healthcare liabilities. And the statistics we got tonight, we had 18 water main breaks in the first 3 months of this year. In 2015, for the entire year, we only had about 23. So this leads me to infer that there are massive infrastructure needs that are going to have to be met at some point. And in order to meet those, because we don't have a lot of money, we're not a cash-rich city, we're going to have to look at bonds. And so, do we do a bond for the market shed, or do we do a bond for the next sinkhole on Hubbard? Those are the questions that I am struggling with. And so, you have the business owners and Mr. Saff, you have a real good opportunity to school me on that before our next vote on this.
Mr. Button.
Just reiterate the fact that this is a vote to explore the cost factors. That's all it is. So as the development of this thing comes along, it's going to be presented to us. We're talking about $53 million in our retirement healthcare thing. Okay, that's a ballpark futuristic thing. That's not a thing that we have to pay next week, next year, next 10 years. Actually, next 20 or 30 years, I think, is even closer to the prediction. And that's what happened with our retirement fund. It started off with such a huge number. And then as years have gone by, investments have been good, contributions have been consistent, we have gotten to the point where we're fully funded. Actually, we're probably a little overfunded, but we're fully funded. And so this $53 million does not scare me. It's not a mandate that we cough that up today, tomorrow, next week, next year, 10 years, whatever. It's a plan to finance the health care for retirees, and that's a futuristic thing. Everybody's not going to retire tomorrow or next week or next month, okay? So you're not going to have that kind of cost factor to deal with. Again, continue to research. I'm for it, and so we'll see when the vote comes through. But you're doing a great job, and I think if we can revitalize our city in any way, I think we're headed in the right direction.
Anyone else?
Vote.
All right, let's take a vote. Roll call.
Crop?
Yes.
Menser?
Yes.
Bunton?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes. Motion passes. Okay, 9D, approval of purchase and payments of invoice.
Move to approve the purchase of invoices.
Support.
Whatever.
Does anybody have any questions? Roll call.
Menser?
Yes.
Bunton?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Crop?
Yes.
9E, request approval of the amended 2017 Downtown Development Authority calendar of events. Need a motion?
Motion to approve the 2017 calendar of events for the downtown Mount Clemens is presented by the Mount Clemens Downtown Development Authority.
Support.
The Mount Clemens Downtown Development Authority 2017 calendar of events was approved on February 21st, 2017. The DDA is now requesting approval of an amended calendar to include a Cars and Stripes show on July 29th, 2017, in conjunction with Selfridge Air National Guard Base.
Okay, I would assume, Commissioner Menser, you have a question?
Yes, I just have a question about coordination of, I don't call it advertising, call it marketing, calling shared services. So on the calendar here, I see on June 2nd and June 3rd, the Bud Light Classic. What's not mentioned on the calendar here is that is the Art Macomb, sponsored by the Arts Center. I would like to see a shared, you know, if you're going to put this on here, it would be a nice partnership to add the Art Macomb on there. When the presumed gentlemen come down, you know, will, you know, come down for the art, for the cars, you know, maybe their lady friends, wives, girlfriends, daughters, sisters, whatever, would like to come for Art Macomb. And so I would just kind of like to see a shared calendar for some of these kind of events.
Go ahead.
We have put these two events together to create a weekend of events downtown. We always have. The reason it's not on the calendar is because that is the Anton Arts Center's event, and that calendar is for the DDA. So we don't put it, it's on the calendar in the directory guide and in our 2017 calendar of events. All of the marketing and everything is done jointly, but when I'm asking for permission, I'm asking for permission for the DDA events, not the Arts Center, not the Car Cruise is part of us because we partner together. The Arts Center stands alone and has stood alone for 30 plus years on that.
I see the DDA calendar in a lot of businesses downtown. I go to a lot of the businesses and visit a lot of the shops. And I just think that it would be a nice coordinated effort. Obviously, that you would want to work that out with the Anton Arts Center, but it's just my suggestion.
It is
that's why I
there.
asked.
It has been for like 30 years.
I want to see it on here.
It will never be on there. It's not a DDA sponsored event.
But you can't put any kind of language on there that says, in addition on this
No,
weekend?
because you're approving my events and my usage of the street. The Arts Center puts together a special events application that goes to Brian for
I understand that.
approval for their event.
Right.
That's the difference.
That's why you have it, because you're approving this.
I was going to say, this is just a document that goes to us, not a document that goes to print.
It's not going anywhere other
Yeah.
than you're just
Okay.
approving so I can move forward and start to get contracts for bands and so on. I can't, we don't promote any event until we get your approval.
So when we give you approval tonight, I would like to see a coordination of marketing, whatever, how, you know.
I don't, it happens. I don't know how to explain it so you understand.
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, anybody else have a question on that one? Roll call.
Bunton?
Yes.
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Croft?
Yes.
Menzer?
Yes.
Consent agenda.
I move to approve the remainder of the consent agenda.
Support.
Roll call.
Campbell?
Yes.
Dempsey?
Yes.
Ford?
Yes.
Hill?
Yes.
Croft?
Yes.
Menzer?
Yes.
Bunton?
Yes.
All right, Commissioner, oh no, I have, city manager has comments first.
A work session was scheduled Monday, April 17th at 6 p.m. for City Commission informational update and to discuss the retiree health care trust for other post-employment benefits. The Let's Move Festival of Races is scheduled to take place on Saturday, April 29th, 2017. Registration will begin at 7 a.m. with race times starting at 9 a.m. on northbound Gratiot at Market Street. Street closures will vary until the race finish, which will be approximately 2 p.m. The city is once again pleased to be participating in the DIA Inside Out exhibit. Mount Clemens will be part of the Spring 2017 exhibit, which will run from April 16th through July 16th, 2017. This year, the DIA is collaborating with the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History to include 10 reproductions of objects from their permanent collection. These images will be displayed throughout the city for all to enjoy. This year's Farmers Market season opens Saturday, May 6th from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. at the North River Road parking lot and will run every Friday and Saturday from 7 a.m. until 1 p.m. thereafter.
Questions? I saw those pictures up already downtown. I happened to be there when it was raining, so I didn't get a good look at them, but they are up.
It's really nice. We didn't mention Wednesday nights on the farmer's market thing. They don't,
Well,
they
when-
just start till
the-
July. So Wednesdays will start in July. for the
July, right. Farmers Market Wednesdays start in July, correct? Okay. All right, Commissioner comments. Commissioner Ford.
I was very pleased tonight that the farmer's market shed was approved.
Yeah, we move forward.
Okay.
Commissioner Button.
Well, I'm obviously glad that we're taking the next step in the farmer shed revitalization of downtown Mount Clemens and all of the good things that are happening. We just want to continue moving forward. I'd like to mention something that Commissioner Ford has mentioned in the past, and that is the number of break-ins that are happening in our neighborhoods. I would encourage all of us to be watchful. We don't have to have a neighborhood watch to watch our neighborhood. Be aware of things that are going on. If you see cars cruising the area for seemingly an unreasonable reason, make note of it. Maybe even take a license tag number down and just store it in case something does break loose. Watch for your neighbors if somebody's going out of town. If you're going out of town, at least let a neighbor know that you're going and to watch your home. Things like that can help prevent that. One gentleman that used to sit in the seat next to me always said, keep your lights on. That's one thing that might help, but then just any observation that you can make to keep the neighborhood safe, we encourage you to do so. Okay, got drugs. That is the call of the DEA drug take-back, which will take place this Saturday, April the 29th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Wilson Gym located at 58 South Wilson here in Mount Clemens. The purpose of this event is to get unused and expired prescription drugs out of the medicine cabinets of our homes so that they may be properly disposed of by the DEA. And this is a coordination from the Drug Enforcement Administration and the certified Sheriff Department agents that will be supervising this event. This will keep those drugs out of the hands of out of being abused by people they are not intended for. It will also help the environment by having them flushed, not having them flushed down the toilet. And, wow, okay. I should stop reading and just say it. But anyway, not having them flushed down the toilet and also not throwing them in the trash, because what happens when you throw them in the trash, they become a part of our ecosystem. And eventually, either gets into the water or it gets into the food, it gets into the grass, and it's transportable. One of the things that you may not know is that these medical situations are so finely particles that they cannot be filtered from our normal filtration system. So we encourage you to help get it out of the medicine cabinets and into the proper hands. And we also know that youth and other people have a tendency to take those prescriptions and do really crazy things with them. At one point in time, I was told that they do these parties where everybody brings something and they throw it in a bowl. And then they reach down and with a shot of liquor and a handful of pills, and just to see what's going to happen. Okay, that kind of stuff scares me, and so I want to encourage everybody that can. Doesn't matter what kind of prescription you have. Hey, bring it in. Let us get rid of it the right way. This will take place at Wilson Gym Saturday, April 29th between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And I know that we're having Let's Move, so if you're doing the Let's Move thing, you can also jog down to Wilson School and drop these prescriptions off. And there's several flyers up here, and I will be trying to go around to some of the agencies and some of the businesses downtown and whatever, and try to get those in places where they can be seen. I'm going to ask Mickey Weiss if she can put that on our marquee and see that people who are driving by might be able to see that. This is a very important thing to me, and I know that drug abuse is really heavily attended during these times.
You have
Okay.
several businesses here that might be able to take one of those flyers, and that when you leave.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That'd be great. You can't ask questions, I'm sorry. You're out of order.
Yes. Can be. All of them.
You're out of order. You cannot talk. Yeah, can I have that one? I need that one. Did you see what he brought? I just had the wooden one.
Okay. I didn't mean to start a riot here. Okay. You know, I'm just going to move right into commission wisdom.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Okay. Tom Brokaw said, it's easy to make a buck. It's much harder to make a difference. And that can apply to this thing we just got finished talking about. But if that one doesn't get to you, how about this one? I would rather be a failure at something that I enjoy doing than a success at something that I hate doing. That's by George Burns. And with that, we'll say good night.
Okay, Commissioner Menser.
So for our residents who are underemployed, unemployed, want to seek different employment, the spring job fair is happening at Macomb Community College South Campus at the Sports and Expo Center Wednesday, the 19th, this week from 4 to 7. There will be 240 employers there in fields like automotive, engineering, healthcare, manufacturing, hospitality, accounting, telecommunications, financial services. Bring a resume and dress business. 240 employers all in one place, good thing for you. I want to remind you that Baker College over here on Gratiot, just south of 15, is offering low-cost dental health services to residents. Oral exams, oral cancer screenings, x-rays, cleanings, fluoride treatments, very low cost. $20 for cleanings for children 3 to 14. Adults 30, you need an appointment, and you can call 586-790-5238. For those of you that are interested in genealogy, the Mount Clemens Public Library is offering a workshop Saturday, April 29th from 9 till noon. They will teach you how to research, how to build your family tree, how to obtain proof documents, and how to apply for lineage organizations like Daughters of the American Revolution or Sons of the American Revolution. You're going to register by either calling the library, or you can call the hosts, Tom or Barb. I'm not sure of their last name, but they're at 465-4021. Selfridge Military Air Museum is now open from 12 to 4:30 on Saturdays, Sundays, Memorial Day, and Independence Day. They have a full-scale replica of a World War I fighter plane. They have a replica of the Wright brothers' first aircraft. They have 4 aircraft cockpit trainers that you can sit in and actually pretend you're, flying a plane. You have to register for a visitor's pass at the gate. Once you do that, they will get you there. And you can look at them on the website at info@selfridgeairmuseum.org. There is a cost associated with it, but I think it's $5 per guest over the age of 12. If you're 4 to 12 years old, it's $3. I want to remind those of you in the Seminole Hills area that the Neighborhood Watch meeting will be at Wilson Gym on the 30th, Sunday the 30th. It will start at 1 o'clock. All I'm going to say it again, I believe firmly that the farmers market belongs downtown. How we get it there is a question. Thank you.
Commissioner Kraft.
I was really encouraged by the proclamation to the family of Mr. Richard Morissette. I believe that Mr. Morissette was probably a man that could have easily said to everyone, I'm really busy, and I don't have time to give to the city, and I don't have time to run for an office or serve on a board, or he obviously set his priorities and made service one of those top priorities. And so I encourage you to look at Mr. Morissette as an example, and maybe look at your life and see where maybe you could give of some of your time in an area that you're passionate about. We have many boards, as the deputy clerk mentioned. We have a lot of boards that are vacant, or have vacancies. And of course, you can also submit your candidate filing packet that you can pick up also with the clerk's office, and you could join us on the board. That deadline is July 5th, 2017.
25th.
July 25th, 2017. And you only have to collect, isn't it 40 signatures? 40 signatures, 40 of your closest friends. You just need 40 signatures to get on the ballot. I would like to thank Mr. Morissette's family for coming and receiving that proclamation. I think it's a great testament to the residents of our city and how dedicated they are.
You're welcome.
The Bakes and Crop Fine Cabinetry, which obviously is a plug for my cabinet business, but there is a reason for it. We are having a job fair on this Wednesday. We are seeking to hire woodworkers, painters, finishers, experienced cabinet makers, or non-experienced woodworkers. If you have a desire to work, we're looking to hire. And so if you are interested, or you know of somebody interested, we're located at 154 South Rose Street, and we will have the job fair on Wednesday from 5 to 8. So please mark your calendars. There will be a downtown cleanup hosted by the Downtown Development Authority and many of the businesses that are there. I know a lot of groups are planning on participating. The young professionals in Mount Clemens are planning on working with them as well. It is May 7th. Thank you. 11 a.m. And we are meeting by the fountain stage, correct? Okay. So if you're interested, just show up. There's no pre-registry needed. Just show up. And I do believe there's a rumor of pizza involved, so, or some kind of food.
Bring your tools.
Oh, bring some tools and some gloves probably. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Gill.
I just want to say thank you to the department heads for their quarterly reports. I always find them very interesting. And I am glad to say that we have passed another step towards the farmers market shed in downtown. So keeping my fingers crossed. And then lastly, I noticed as I was driving to the meeting tonight how suddenly we have all these trees and bushes and flowers blooming, and the city looks beautiful. So thank you. Have a great evening and a good week.
And allergies.
And allergies. Sorry about that part of it.
Commissioner Camp.
Yeah, I too want to thank the department heads for their reports tonight, two of them in particular. Mr. Woods, where do I get the notification boards to be placed at the start of the block? Second one to the water department. I'm very happy on the dedicated workers we have who run our water treatment plant, and our most valuable natural asset, running smooth and safe. As was once said, water is more valuable than gold. So thank you very much to the water department. Thank you.
Okay. I'm not going to say much tonight, if I can't. So I'm just going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Support.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.